problem is this year when I looked up India, the Amazing Race has been here more times than almost anywhere. I think China is the only place in Asia where they've visited more. The subcontinent of India is so big and they've been to so many places here that I don't know if it's going to be possible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to all the cities and all the places, but I'll try. Good morning, everybody. It's time to continue the amazing race. Unfortunately, Maura's not with me, so I have to do it myself. Today I find myself in Kolkata, India. The amazing race was here twice. And as soon as I get to where they kicked off both of these, or either of these, I'll let you know which episode it was. So here we are at Shaheed Minar. We're in Kolkata, India, and this was the first stop on this leg of the amazing race. All the way back 20 years ago, season 5, episode 9. Their first stop ever in Kolkata, India. This tower, I guess, is the Shaheed Minar. This is where they had to meet, right up here. And their first clue they got basically told them that their next stop was in Garia, all the way to the south of Kolkata. And that was going to be the Roadblock. And they had to go to the Globe Brick Factory. They also had an option, though, that they could go to the north of the city and get the fast forward. It's very rare that they do fast forwards, but this was, I think they had 2 that season, and this was one of them. If they went to the north of the city and completed the fast forward, that meant they could bypass the rest of the show and go straight to the end. But since the roadblock was to the south of the city and the fast forward was to the north, they do that on purpose. So if you don't complete the fast forward, you mess it up, or if somebody's already done it before you get there, then you're just out of luck and you have to head all the way to the roadblock with everyone else. So that was the whole point of this fast forward. So that was their choice. They got their clue right here. And now I'm either going to go to the fast forward or I'm going to go to the roadblock. Same situation. I have to choose, go north or go south, but I'm going to go to both of them if possible, so I better hit the road. This old Kali temple, I can't pronounce the first part of its name. It will be written on the screen. This is where they came during this season's fast forward. It was the one chance teams have to jump to the end of the show. At the very beginning, the first team to arrive and complete the task will be allowed to jump all the way to the end of the show and bypass all the other stuff that the other teams had to do. The problem is only one team came to do it, and they had to shave their head. There was a station set up. People were here to shave their heads, and the one team that came, both said they were models, and their hair was too important. There was no way they could shave it off. So I would have shaved my head. I don't know if I would have been able to talk Maura into shaving her head, but to help win the show, I think she would have. Okay, it is time for the first roadblock here in Kolkata, where teams had to travel south to the town of Garia. At the Globe Brick Factory, one member of each team had to follow the example and make 20 bricks. This was not only a roadblock for the show, but it also turned out to be a roadblock for my quest. The problem wasn't traveling south to the town of Garia. The problem was that neither Google Maps nor the employees at my hotel could find any indication that the Globe Brick Factory was still functioning in Garia. This is a problem that I discovered on this trip. Landmarks, tourist attractions, and historical monuments will probably always be there, but especially in these older episodes, local businesses are not guaranteed to still exist. Armed with just the name of the business, without a specific address, some of these older locations may prove to be impossible to find. After the judge approved all 20 bricks, the teams were instructed to go to Garia train station and ride the train back to Sealdah Station in Kolkata. When I told the employees at my hotel that I intended to ride that train, they insisted, "You do not want to do that." Now, here is where I have to address why Miss Maura didn't join me on this trip. When the fates first decided that I would be coming to India, she was excited. We spent the year watching many other channels' YouTube videos about people's experiences in India. Some of the negative experiences that she saw, combined with some horrifying news stories that came out of India last year, all contributed to her excitement dwindling to the point to where she decided not to come. Even watching all the India episodes of The Amazing Race last year contributed to that concern. The scenes from some of the episodes where teams were crammed into the trains like sardines and the female contestants were all being groped and fondled, that definitely added to her list of reasons not to come. Once the teams were back to the heart of Kolkata, they received their clue about the upcoming detour. That's where they had to choose between light but long or heavy but short. Okay, on this side of the detour was called light but long. Light because you were only getting a garland of flowers, but long because you had to find a specific stall down there to get it from. And they figured that was going to take a long time. Then once they had it, they had to get the garland of flowers and put it in the river, which is what that bridge is going over. The problem is that I found a mistake. One of the few mistakes I've ever found on The Amazing Race. The writers and the producers had Phil say they were putting the flowers in the Ganges River. The Ganges River is nowhere near here. That's the Hooghly or the Hooghly River. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's not the Ganges River. So, Phil, you misspoke.
The owner will give them a garland, which they must release into the Ganges River for good luck. Then they'll receive their next clue.
Oh. So on the second half of that Detour, it was called Heavy But Short. There was a bunch of cabs like this set out for the players, and the teams were supposed to get these cabs a half mile down the street to a garage. But the trick was they couldn't get them started, and when they opened the hood, there was no engines in them. So with no engines, obviously they had to push it. But luckily in that episode, all the neighborhood kids and all the people in the neighborhood were so excited to see these crazy people pushing these cabs. They all came out and helped, so it made pretty light work. Very interesting part of the show. And every single team chose that side of the Detour. Nobody chose the side that said light but long. And now we find ourselves at the Victoria Memorial, the scene of the pit stop of this leg of the amazing race, episode 5, season 9. I can't believe it's 20 years ago. Now we're going to jump ahead 7 years to 2011 because they actually came to Kolkata 2 times. So let's go see where they started that one.